hear me. Whoops. Yeah, can y'all hear me? So we're live. How's my audio? And check on this thingy, and we're gonna power through again. An emergency stream, guys. You have to remember, I get like millions and millions and millions of messages ever since I started doing this stream, and even before that when I was did the YouTube. So basically, this is where your 2 hours emergency broadcast where you can ask me questions, science, technical stuff. But anyways, we have 0 people in the chat. 0 in the chat, guys. Everybody show up. Otherwise, I'll just continue on my journey on here. Just can y'all hear me? Okay, so put on X as well. Okay, Attila 29K, let's go. All right, Attila, yeah, great to have you on here, and yeah, start. This should start now. I don't know what's going on here. Let's just start. Okay, they're sending a message. And how's audio, guys? Howdy. Okay, we have 2010 Hotmail 2010. Okay, is this a spam or is this real? All right, because that's okay, love your videos. Okay, epic stuff. Let's go. Okay, so far you're #1 community top fans. Okay, epic stuff, guys. All right, and again, remember these Tuesday ones are the ones for the emergency. I mean, basically ask technical stuff because I get a million messages. So if I don't go through them on my own, this is where you can ask. Okay, Google's calling me. No, swipe down. I don't want to answer this. Okay, a bit loud. Okay, so we got a bit loud. I will lower this gain. It's a bit loud. How about now? I lowered a tiny bit. Okay, a bit loud. Okay, so we got a bit loud. I will lower this gain. Okay, how's it, guys? A bit loud. How about now? I lowered a tiny bit. It's still loud, maybe. Okay, a bit loud. Okay, I turned off all the gain. Okay, so we got a bit loud. I turned off all the gain. How's it now? Lower this gain. Okay, so we got a bit loud. I will lower this gain. Okay, how's it, guys? A bit loud. How about now? I lowered a tiny bit. It's still loud, maybe. Okay, a bit loud. Okay, I turned off all the gain. Okay, is it still? Did the gain go higher? Okay, I'll just lower it here. Let me know how's the audio, guys. Okay, I think it might be. I'm gonna lower a tiny bit. No, I can't even move this. Desktop audio. I can't even lower it. Like, what's the issue with this? I'm back better. Okay, yeah, but I don't understand. Like, there's always something that arises. Like right now, I can't even lower this mixer. There's just no. I can mute it, but I can't lower it. Like, what's the point of all this? What's the actual point of it? Like, before I was able to move this, now I can't do anything. And so that's what I mean. It's, these technical stuff, it all is like. It's like random. There's a random number generator, and it generates all these randomly. Okay, so all right. So what else do we have in the show? Okay, I'm gonna do the sound here. Sound settings. Okay, so is audio better? It gets back up volume. Okay, I'm gonna lower this from here. Okay, let me know how the audio is now. Evening, all 9/11 revisionists in the house. Yeah, so 9/11 revisionist. Yeah, there's some drama going on with that David A. Hughes guy, which is he's definitely a double agent, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna check the audio now. Okay, so revisionist in the house. Yeah, so 9/11 revisionist. Yeah, going on with. Yeah, there's some drama going on with that David A. Hughes guy, which is he's definitely a double agent, but that's yeah. It still goes loud. I don't understand. What's the issue? Like, why can't they? I'm gonna unplug this and plug it back. Is completely gone. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna lower this a tiny bit more. Okay, testing. Oh yes, let's talk about the new clown. Yeah, we can talk about it. Anyways, my nephews and nieces are over and they're just destroying my door. Let's see. Neither here nor there. I'm gonna check the audio now. We're just in the house. What's the issue? Like, unplug this. I'm gonna lower this a tiny bit more. Okay, testing. Okay, is audio better, guys? Let me know when the audio is good. Let's talk about the new clown. Yeah, we can talk about it. Anyway, audio's fixed. Okay, because I lowered it here to 41%. I'll make it a bit higher. Oh, that's volume. Sound. Oh, that was the wrong one. The sound should be max. This is the one. I'm lowered right here. Okay, this should be fine now. Okay, testing. I think it should be fine now. I was using the wrong mixer. All right, that should be fine. My nephew's over and yeah, testing. I think it should be fine now. I was using the wrong mixer. All right, okay, that should be fine. Okay, I think it's fine, guys. If you guys have any issues, well, anyways, we'll just power through and ask me questions. We'll see what I can get through, and then if there's no questions, I'll go do the default topic, which is on that focus fusion thing. Is pretty interesting. Let's see. I can make this. Yeah, okay, it should be fine. Okay, guys, we're good to go. I made it a bit higher, and we're good to go. All right, so we have 8 people in the chat. Yeah, so just to quickly discuss about that Hughes guy. That Hughes guy is very interesting. But the thing is, he's obviously like controlled opposition. So that's the thing, and it takes like how many years? 20 years before now we have someone, or like 25 years. Yeah, it's like almost 25, 24 years before someone actually like at least acknowledges that, yeah, okay, obviously it's directed energy weapons. But now he's saying, I think the worst part is now he's saying that buildings 3, 4, 5, and 6 are done by falling steel. Like that's one of the stupidest things I've ever witnessed. Where's the part right here? Yeah, this part. I just watched it. I'm at the Q&A. Oh, wait, which one are you watching? What are you watching? Yeah, this part right here. So that David A. Hughes guy. He's saying that eventually it was the steel from WTC that was primarily responsible for slicing WTC 4 in half, and not just slicing, but now also disappearing it all. And there's also no steel. There's like hardly any steel, and yeah, he's saying that this is the reason why it like turned most of the building 3. I think it's building 3, yeah, to dust, and so on. And it's like literally the exact same thing as Gene Larotonda nonsense. Is that sometimes falling steel, and then the only instances of steel actually hitting stuff, the buildings don't get cut in half. It's like this is the Bankers Trust. It's like, okay, the steel falls on it, and your point. And then he's saying that look, and then he drew some mumbo jumbo here, saying this is the peeling like a banana fallout zone. Your WTC 1, and in the center of WTC 1 and 2, where the biggest impact zone, right there, nothing. That's a sphere. That's literally here. And it's towering over all the rubble. So it's like, why is this not crushed? So in other words, this refutes his quote falling steel nonsense, complete nonsense. And also he thinks there's nothing special about the Hurricane Aaron or magnetometer data. So this right here is uncrushed. These are uncrushed. Yeah, well, some of them are at least one. My articles in each orphan, if he reads, he would gather he's full of shit. Yeah, definitely. And and also this guy here, this guy's a liar. I don't know why they're lying about the other stuff. But anyways, just always double check everything. And yeah, so and also another part is so this was I got a message saying that, hey, you converted me from 80% to 100% on 9/11. In your stream, you said it's the same as a building hitting a plane at the same speed. Yeah, definitely. So whenever you think of the mainstream physics, a plane hitting this is the same thing as you just have it stationary that's going 500 miles an hour. So in other words, you're slamming it. You're slamming it like a literally like a racket right there. Except this is that's explosive fuel, so it should blow up like on impact, not just inside. But yeah. Anyways, so that's that part. Yeah, no in hell unless those debris fell from outer space. Yeah. Oh well, even then, if they're falling down, they're gonna be picked up by the seismic scale and picked up by sound. Like if there's enough steel to slice buildings, it should be picked up by like actual sound seismic readings. But they're not. It wasn't actually slammed to the ground. It's literally just like dustified. Yeah. No, he definitely, yeah. He's not getting on Alex Jones' show all of a sudden. And then completely silent on Alex Jones being a complete shill for his entire life. And then also I want to go to the other part I wanted to show. Yeah, this is Building 3. So anyone that says Building 3, or Building 4 is also, yeah, so a trivia quiz. Building 4 is Dr. Dirty Wood's favorite building. Because that one is actually when I have so many photos once I upload that video of the dustification of these exterior columns, etc. It's absolutely amazing. But I want to go to Building 3. So here's Building 3. Where's the Building 3? I want to show the Building 3. Yeah, it's that blue bacon guy. Yeah, the Building 3 one. Yeah, so there's Building 4. So apparently falling steel somehow completely disappears Building 4. And it like slices it completely. Not just, yeah, it's like a perfect clean slice. But I want to show this part. Where the heck is Building 3? Okay. Yeah, this right here. So Building 3, is towering above the exterior. Yeah, it's towering above the WTC 2 Rebel. So in other words, what's falling on it? Nothing's on top of this. Barely anything. How come this is not crushed? And this is only little tiny here. So where's so building 3 is completely gone, and it's towering above. These are the exterior columns. So right here, yeah. So basically, exterior columns are just behind it there, but that's still standing. So in other words, but the other part is what's crushing. Nothing's crushing the actual building. It just turns to dust, and then all the stuff that's falling off is just it's like soft steel, and also some anti-gravity like levitation. Because he had that Winter Garden one, it was pretty interesting. Winter Garden, I think I had that, or I think I have some here. Winter Garden WTC, and then I think like there was literally steel on it, but not crushed. Yeah, this is the Winter Garden. This is like all steel. There's steel on here. So see that steel right here? There's falling steel. It didn't even break this little flimsy structure there. There's falling steel on it. It didn't turn it to dust. There's a bunch of steel on this, and it's all glass. Like there's glass unbroken. And this is like literally just between the stuff there. Where is the Winter Garden relative to the building? Yeah, so Winter Garden. There's WT. There's the North Tower. Winter Garden is right here. So it's like, and it's glass. So this glass and like just this trusses, a bunch of trusses or whatever structure is it's not meant to be load bearing like much, and somehow it's withstanding megatons of steel falling on it. So it's like, so again, Hughes is completely and utterly lying. Yeah, this is the Winter Garden one. There's steel on it. This is like literally, it's like melted on it too. This did not turn. This is, and look, there's some steel here. It hit it. It did not cut this slice in half. And okay, like again, I don't understand how anyone could look at building 3 or building 4 rubble. Yeah. So again, David A. Hughes is weird, and also he's also reviving that nukes guy. Like, why is he even bringing up that Palmer guy with any credibility? Like, the guy's a psychopath. Just call him out. Anyways. So a lot of stuff is very, 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 very straightforward. Okay, so I'll see what else we had here. I had a whole bunch of actual questions. I'm going to go over this one. This is my later stuff here. I think we had some on Reddit. Okay, so I had a message here. I'm gonna pop these messages out. Let's see. Okay, IC Neighborhood says, I used ChatGPT to create a personal project focused on Dr. Judy Wood's work samples from the WTC that I have at home and what led me to this moment. I tried sharing emailing files I've uploaded, but I keep running into an error. Try to send email. Yeah, I sent emails. Like, everything's giant. Uploaded Nancy. Okay, then he says, actually, I think I got the email attachments finally sent to you, but I had to send in 6 separate attachments. So I'm going to see some stuff he said here. But it's just... Okay. Actually, before we get further than that. Okay, yeah, so anyways, I was working on, this was a George Hathaway video that I synced. So apparently he says he never completed part FHG, concentrating on... Okay, a few years prior, sorry, I can't be more... Okay, so anyways, he never completed that. Okay, that's fine. But I want to go back to... This guy sent me a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, anyways, hopefully... Okay, so he sent a bunch of stuff here, but it's like so hard to follow. I wanted to share a personal project. I started with ChatGPT last week that focused on Dr. Judy Wood's findings and Hutchinson samples of WC that ensure at home and what led me to this point. But I ran into this error each time I tried to email the upload files. Okay, my dad recently found out about WTC 7 disappearing. Okay, anyways, so he sent this. It's like, okay, I gotta start downloading this stuff here. Okay. I see justice, a personal mission for the WTC and those who work there. I'm gonna have to, okay, so this is that first one. This case files an extensive independent investigation in it. Okay, he's going through a bunch of these compared to, so using ChatGPT and then doing the field effects and all this. So that's one email. I'm gonna actually have to save all these. And then so we can have it in a proper method here. Other uploads. Let's go Hutchinson or ChatGPT. Let's put a AI. ChatGPT. Hey Gary, family vacation. Okay. I'm gonna go here. I see. Okay, I'm just gonna go image 1. I think image 1. I see justice. Okay, that's what it is. And then download this. My goodness, it's gonna take forever. Image 2. Okay, well, we'll do this. I'll do this later. But I want to go through the whole rest of it. It's like, this is what are you guys doing? Send it properly. Put it in a folder on OneDrive or something, or Google Drive or Dropbox, or just some sort of sharing site, because email is just not meant for this. Anyways, so and also you can also send a link to the actual Dropbox. I mean, actual ChatGPT. It doesn't need to be like this. You can also copy and paste. Okay, so anyways, concrete facade. He's setting all this. This is so hard to follow. Anyways, my goodness, I just want to keep going because he has some images of the actual samples. Box and the towers. Personal mission. Okay, there's reflection. Everyone, yeah. So ChatGPT is taking over the game, but also you need to at least, if you're using ChatGPT, at least make it easier for us to grab a hold of this. Okay, so let's see what else he had. Okay, this is a truth awaken. Okay, so he's making open your mind. Okay, so he's making some AI stuff there. Anyways, man, it's just how many? I'm scrolling down giant folders. Okay, there's a screenshot of an image. These are, I think, from the WTC. I think. Okay, and then let's see what else he has. Unbelievable. Okay, yeah, this is also from these are from the WTC. This stuff he got. These are actually rubble from the WTC. It's all like fused together. So that's interesting. Okay, so anyways, for those who don't know, this is WTC rubble. Yeah, so this guy, he sent me an email. So the super rare 3-piece lot from the WTC recovered post text. So the first 2 pieces contain real window glass pieces, and etc. And he also has this part right here. This is from the I think from that underground basement thingy, or anyways, some stuff he got. World Trade Center, and yeah, he has some glass there, and so on, and some more stuff there. So epic stuff. All right, so yeah, so he actually has WTC stuff. Yeah, so that's this guy right here. He bought them from including he bought them from eBay. So he bought them from eBay because I think this is the same guy. Main building pistol half seems to display the Hutchinson effect, and so on. Okay, anyways. So I'll close this part. What else do we have? Again, you guys, remember, if you have any questions, I stayed. Okay, Gary Jackson. I stayed in the building 3 when I went to New York in the 90s. Oh, epic stuff, Gary. Yeah, that's fascinating. All right, so okay, so that's this part. I'm gonna just go back here. Actually, this is the later part. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of messages. What I want to do, I want to go through now is the Substack one. I haven't had a chance to look at these. I'm gonna go to Substack, and then I'll do the Fusion stuff. The Fusion stuff is pretty fascinating. I saw the video yesterday. Okay, direct. Okay, so this guy, I'll say here. Hi, Nathan. This guy I usually ask questions. Hi, I'm doing a live now. Ask questions there if you can, or here. So I'll just do the live. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, anyways, I'll send a link to there. And then the other guy, this guy's the one writing an actual physicist paper. Also, man, tune in, and I've been getting bits of it here and there, and actually I have a plan to walk you through it. I'll set up some equations that compare to standard unified models and show how it can scale. A pendulum would be a good equation to start with. Okay, I added a paper into my drive called Unified Resonance Equations with some plug-and-play equations. I've toyed with the idea of using the results of the Casimir effect to help get some of the variables, consciousness in particular, but it might be easier than to get proper value for it. Consciousness will have to be based on volume instead of being mass gravity based, because volume doesn't change the same way gravity changes under certain circumstances. It should be consistent variable, independent of it as much as influence as possible, volume based. Okay, anyways, so this guy's writing his own paper. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it and to say how. I think I had Drew Truscott. Where did I download these from? Thought I had, he sent me these ones. What did I, file? Unified. Yeah, unified field theory. This is what, okay, this is where I saved these here. So I have a folder of stuff here. The unified field theory here, and this is where PH superset. And let's see. So he sent a link here, and I downloaded everything there. And he just said there's another one. He added another thingy here. Unified resonance equations. A drive folder called Unified Resonance Equations. Where is it? Oh, that's PDF. Okay. So now I'm gonna do download all this. Again, yeah, but actually I'll just keep them like this. Okay, so I'll keep them in there. Unified comparison, unified field resonance equations. Okay, so again, he's going on refraction standard model. So he has his own model for every single thing. Time dilation resonance, where coherence factor. Okay, standard model. Unification principle, My model. Why would it do that? Okay, yeah, so unification. Full volumetric unification, so forces energy displacement. Yeah, no, this is interesting. Very. Your model unifies. It's a standard model, does not. Your model includes a unifying wave function. This guy's on another level. Okay. Your model evaluates. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is, okay, I'll just tell him. And this is the unified kinetic energy. Interesting. Okay, so the real question is, interesting. Going over it now. Definitely need to be yeah, this guy is a pendulum. Be epic. Yeah, the Excel one, I told him put in Excel. Well, he probably already had a model like this, but I told him compared everything. Because I made it, because I need to make it all simple so that we know, so we can compare. He had a, yeah, so we can't just do that. Yeah, so I told him to put everything in here. And so on. Or Open Office Math, which I prefer. Yeah, Open Office, but the thing is, I pay for OneDrive, and I've been using Microsoft forever. Open Office is just another, yeah, because the thing is, I already pay for the OneDrive, mainly for the cloud storage. So like OneDrive, I have like infinite data, infinite online cloud storage, so it's not easy to get this. Let's see, I have 2 terabytes. My goodness, it's almost gonna go over 1.7. All right. But anyways, this is on. I'm gonna open up on this because I'll open up. I'll download this. Yeah. So I've been using it forever, but I also use the OneDrive mainly for okay, other resources. OneDrive. Okay, this is unified field theory. Just download that. Open this one. And the good thing about these ones, they all have AI infused, so it's like pretty next level. So it's like it's gonna be hard. Yeah. So for anyone to compete, you gotta have to also use AI. Like even Google Drive has AI infused in it. So you get okay. So this is just gonna make it everything organized better. Yeah, so I think an example, I'm gonna say going over now in the stream. I'll put a link here. John Hudson, he seems to be fine. He emails me like nonstop. Yeah, John is the man. Definitely need to walk through a pendulum example would be epic. Also just like just basic. Like university problems. that students would have to do. And then solve it using your model. Even something as simple as throwing a ball in the air. Yeah, okay. Okay, so anyways, yeah, so I do definitely need to walk through, but again, I'm here on practical stuff. And then the biggest one is, I'll say, and the biggest thing I am interested in is if there are some connections to gravity / anti-gravity / levitation that your model may open up. Yeah, that may open up. Mainstream conceals, in my opinion. Yeah, so in my opinion, I actually think the mainstream conceals anti-gravity using their sign. So if there's any sort of method or insight, so any insights are gonna be epic. Yeah, definitely. Anyways, again, this is beyond what I currently grasp. And before I get to the yeah, I'm gonna go to the fusion stuff. I'll tell this person. This person is, I think someone sent me. Anyways, someone sent a message before, but so before we get further, this is throwback to when this quantum physicist made it on the BBC. So this is I'll open up this. So we're gonna talk some quantum mechanics. So this is very interesting. This is was on 2018. This is, his name is Amor Al-Qaidi, and he identified. Let's see what he identifies as.
My name is Amru Al-Qadi, or Glamru, and I have an identity that you might categorize as intersectional. I'm British Iraqi, gay, non-binary, and also identify as Muslim.
All right. So we got British Iraqi, gay, non-binary, and Muslim. All right. Anyways, I have that scheduled for 3:03 p.m. And then I post this also. MES identifying as a quantum physicist. I'll put this. MES. Yeah. So there's. Anyways. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, I have no idea what's going on. Okay. So anyways, so that is something else on another level. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, you're saying your eyes burning? No, I've seen something worse. Let's go to MES conspiracy. Okay, we're going deep, guys. So he's supposed to be in a mentalist. Someone made a good post on Gab. Okay, so on Gab, this is again, no disrespect to the colored community. but y'all tripping some. Y'all just gotta have some fun. Okay, anyways, I put this person said it's fellow Muslims that want to throw a party on the rooftop to celebrate its identity. All right. Matt just trying to fit in. All right. Alright, guys, go. I'm gonna go trans. I think Baphomet. I think I had it in here somewhere. Baphomet. Okay, this is one of my Pizzagate videos. Baphomet. Yeah, this Pizzagate. Yeah, this one is one of the most like next. This is one of the Pizzagate videos, part 27. Yeah, 2022. I uploaded this one. Okay, let's just go. Oh, there's the notes. No, it was way earlier than that. Okay, so this is the notes here. Baphomet. Yeah. Okay, so we're going next level, guys. Okay, so this is number 2017. Before I made this video before this post, this 2018. So even before this guy, and I probably found the scariest like being I've ever encountered. And it's for a kids show. It's okay to be gay lip sync featuring Mr. So Mr. So it's a man, but now it's Mr. Drag queer kid stuff. This is queer kid stuff, and it's literally Baphomet. So we got literally this guy Jeff turns into Mr. It's literally like Baphomet. He's doing the hand sign. I've seen people like, and yeah. So, anyways, and I just want to see if the video's still up. It's still up. So, and it got 30,000 subscribers now. And I think the comments are disabled. Okay, so comments are turned off. Oh, I wonder why. So.
It's okay to be gay.
All right, yeah. You know, it's okay, but this is not okay to teach kids. Like, this is not okay. Whatever this is. Drag. Okay. Anyways, like, all right. Anyways, it's the scariest thing I've ever encountered in all my life. All right. When I was doing this video, I'm like, okay. Yeah, so if you watch this video, this is my part 20. I was David Brock Blackmail, United Nations also gay day. Anyways, I don't know. It's not okay for whatever that thing is. Apology. Anyways, so don't quote me. I don't mean any hate. I don't want to get YouTube to take me down or Mark Carney to put me in jail. I am not hating. I'm just saying that don't look pretty. Alright, guys. Anyways, that's just yeah. Anyways, that was just next level. Okay, the occult and Parthenon Genesis says Jesus may have been both genders. All right. No, yeah, there was some news cycle on that. Basically, LGBTQ saying everything is woke. Anyways, so that's our part. I'm gonna go to some fusion stuff. So this fusion one. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw this video yesterday. Yeah, the anthrogenesis. Yeah, well, you can be anthrogenesis or whatever, but that thingy is just. I actually want to share that again. I'll remind me to post it later. Or actually, I'll do it right now. I'll schedule go back from that. Again, this is why I use peak.com, guys. Absolutely epic. Again, it's on a Hive blockchain. I can't stress this enough. It's on Hive blockchain, guys. Okay, why does it not show up? I think I didn't use that MES conspiracy before then. Okay, so the notes are in here. Oh, it's in Pizzagate. It wasn't in the conspiracy thingy. I didn't make the community until later. So anyways, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go to the Baphomet. I'm gonna post that. I'll schedule it as well. Okay, I'm gonna post this right here. And I'll be like, alright. Probably, the scariest thing on the internet. Okay, yeah, okay, so anyways, this, I'm gonna copy this link. Okay, so we got this person. Okay, Google just keeps calling me like, down. I don't care what, Google is, tripping out. Okay, let's go here. Okay, actually, I'm gonna do a better screenshot like this. Anyways, we're on another level, guys. So it's like, the thing is, yeah, people can do whatever they want, but kids are impressionable. They should not, and this like monster, like scary looking guy should not be near kids, at all. All right. So it's like if you want to play cosplay with your life, do that, like somewhere far away from kids. And anyways, I'm gonna send this. I'll do this at 14. No, 16:04. So it's about 4. All right. Anyways. That is just scary AF. Hey guys, Eric Lerner, is he alive or killed? Eric Lerner, I've never heard about it, but him. Anyways, so that's just another level. All right, I'm gonna continue further, and now we're gonna do the fusion stuff. Yeah, so I saw this video yesterday, and I thought it was quite fascinating. This video, I'll keep it like this. So this is Focus Fusion, the fastest route to cheap, clean energy. This is from 2007, Eric Lerner. I'll show you some of the stuff here. Google Talks are designed to, anyways, so he was reaching out here because he couldn't get funding from the government as much. So he's trying to get private investors from Google.
Director of the Focus Fusion Society. He's here to talk about his ideas on nuclear power. So please join me in welcoming Eric Lerner.
Thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me here.
Okay, so this is on hot fusion, but the thing is, this is like, I think this is like cleaner energy than normal nuclear fusion, and we'll go over it. And basically, but he says that it's like smaller scale, but there's no ionizing radiation, and or at least I mean no radioactive radiation, that you can all control it all and so on. And we'll get to it in a bit, but I'm gonna keep this stuff open. So, and he was discussing focus fusion. Is he still around? Yeah, you can. So you can go to dense plasma physics. So focus fusion is actually just called. It's just DPF, or dense plasma physics. It's a type of plasma generating system originally developed as a fusion power device. Here's just according to mainstream Wikipedia, and also with Wask Rock and so on, for some simplified. Also, yeah, I forgot. Okay, yeah, I forgot. We're on. This is the first comment on the Threadcast. Okay, epic stuff. I also have, just for those on the Hive blockchain, figure this out, get on it, and I'll upload your stuff, and you get, so there's 30 cents just for that post. So I have the same thing here. You can comment there, and your comments are forever. But anyways, go back here. So here I'm just gonna learn it. I'm gonna use this opportunity to learn this until I have other questions. If anybody has questions, let me know. But I'll be learning stuff. So it's a type of plasma generating system originally developed as a fusion power device starting in the early 1960s. The system demonstrated scaling laws that suggested it would not be useful in the commercial power role, and since the 1980s it's mainly used as a fusion teaching system and as a source of neutrons and X-rays. So basically the mainstream says it's not going to be used for etc. It's not going to be used for fusion. That's the mainstream. The original concept was developed in 1954 in the Soviet Union by this person who noticed effect while working early on pinch. So a major research program on DPF was carried out in the USSR and continues to be to this day. So USSR, a different version of the same was independently discovered by J.W. Mather. Derives from the Z-pinch concept. We'll go over this in a bit. It's very interesting. Okay, this guy, Eric says, orbs and fireballs have connections to reptoids often. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of connections. Yeah, the thing is, you have to decipher, is this reality or is this some sort of AI, like AI lore that's been implemented throughout centuries? Plasma focus is similar to high-density plasma gun device, HIPHD, or simply plasma gun, which injects plasma in the form of a plasmoid. So the question is, what in the world is a plasmoid without pinching it? So you're basically pinching early pinch machines. So a pinch, and let's see what a pinch is. A pinch, and so it's dealing with a pinch plasma. So first of all, plasma is a coherent structure of plasma. So the thing is that when you want to find what reality is, you go back here. So a plasmoid is a plasma. You search up what plasma is. Plasma is a state of matter. Okay, what's matter? Characterized by the presence of a significant portion of charged particles. And you ask, what's charged particles? And it says charged particles is a particle with an electric charge. Okay, what's an electric charge? Okay, you keep going. It's a physical property of matter that causes it to experience a force replacing an electromagnetic field. Okay, what's an electromagnetic field? Everything is like a circular. Electromagnetic field is a physical field of varying in space and time that represents electric and magnetic influences generated by acting upon electric charges. Okay, what's an electric charge? We're back into a loop. Okay, electric charge is physical property of matter. Okay, so we just went back in a loop. All right, so electric charge is force in an electromagnetic field. An electromagnetic field is a field that causes a force. Oh my goodness, what in the world did we just learn? All right, so we learned mainstream physics is just circular reasoning. All right, so okay, anyways. A plasmoid, let's just do it in a high level ones. Plasmoid is a state of matter characterized by the presence of a significant portion of charged particles in any combination of ions or electrons. It is the most abundant form of ordinary matter in the universe, mostly in stars. So stars are mainly plasma. And it's basically a lot of charged particles. So in other words, half charge, it can get influenced by electromagnetic field. So basically they interact with it. And the plasma is a coherent structure is a coherent structure of plasma and magnetic field. So basically you have those plasma just charges, and then you have it contained inside a magnetic field. So here's natural plasma produced in a near-Earth magnetotail by magnetic reconnection. So you have the charged particles in that, there's that Van Allen belt or somewhere around there. But here's a plasmoid gets pinched or gets stuck inside here by the magnetic field. So magnetic field, if you contain plasma, which is charged particles, and charged particles are just tiny gyroscopes of the ether, in my humble opinion. For example, some elementary particles like electron or quarks are charged. Anyways, no, that's the charged particle. So magnetic reconnection is a physical process occurring in electrically conducting plasma orbs are stars. Plasma orbs. Yeah, stars. Yeah, the plasma orbs. Yeah, they tell you that. It's like it's the same thing as just. Yeah, plasma is literally just stars, just charged particles. In other words, tiny gyroscopes. So magnetic reconnection is a physical process occurring in electrically conducting plasmas in which magnetic topology is rearranged and magnetic energy is converted to kinetic, thermal, and a particle acceleration. Magnetic reconnection involves plasma flowing at substantial fractions of the Alvean wave speed, which is a fundamental speed for mechanical informational flow in a magnetized plasma. What in the world? Okay. Alvean waves originating from the sun excite gravity waves in the Earth's thermosphere. Alvean waves. High-speed streams, Alvean waves. Basically, charged particles waving. I think that's what it is. Type of plasma wave in which ions oscillate. Oscillates in response to restoring force affected by... Yeah, Alvean wave named after is a type of plasma wave. Now, plasmas can wave as well now. In which ions oscillate in response to restoring... Okay, anyways, I'm going to go to the washroom. I'll be back. I'll go washroom and then I'm going to lower my desk. I've been standing. But in the meantime, I will play some Hutchison. I'll play some of the Hutchison draft. Hathaway draft. So this is a draft video. After watching this presentation, I can't stop thinking the same thing weaponized and used in 9/11. Which presentation? This one? Which presentation? After watching this presentation, I can't stop thinking the same thing weaponized and used in 9/11. Yeah, that's all it is. It's like, I think the biggest thing is the way people, the way mainstream science is like spoken of, like when they say charged particles, electromagnetic fields. Those are all like placeholder names. That's not actually what reality is. It's just because, well, first of all, they don't. That's by definition not reality because they're all just a circular reasoning. So they're like placeholders for stuff, and then, but then having placeholders, it's hard for average person to be like wrap their head around. Like, what in the world is a field? What is a charged particle? So in other words, what they actually are is, again, I think just gyroscope ethers. Okay, I'm gonna play this. This is the one I you will see the weapon used everywhere, like Canada. That's why he's presenting it. Oh yeah, Paul Levels. That's why. Okay, Paul Levels in the house. Yeah, obviously, yeah, that's why I presented. But also, you have to realize. Oh, Eric Leonard's Google. Oh, you saw that one. I could play that one, or I could play this Hathaway one. No, I'll play this Hathaway one. This is the one I've been working on. Because this is 1993, and so he's a professional engineer, and basically, I synced all the audio, and he apparently has a bunch missing. But anyways, I'll upload a final version later. But this is pretty epic. I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna go watch him. I'll be back. The Hutchison Effect. An overview by George D. Hathaway, professional engineer at Hathaway Consulting Services in Toronto, Canada, on May 14th, 1993.
Hello, my name is George Hathaway. We're in the Toronto laboratory of Hathaway Consulting Services. And this lab that you see around you is set up to investigate new concepts in physics and engineering, especially those that are directly related to novel energy and propulsion technologies. By far the most advanced and unusual such non-conventional energy technology that I have ever witnessed is the Hutchison effect. This video will try to document Hutchison's research and suggest basic physical theories which might help understand and explain what I have called the Hutchison effect.
All right. Anyways, so George Hathaway. Remember, this guy witnessed a lot of the effects. He was also a business partner initially with John Hutchison, and because he was trying to get this scaled up and so on, and so on. So he describes all the effects and then the issues with the effects, meaning like try to get them like more consistent and so on. But anyways, so this guy literally witnessed a whole bunch of them, and I have him in my email, like literally emailing him back and forth. I'm trying to get him more. I'm trying to ask him to get actual like more footage. So again, just to illustrate how real the Hutchison effect is, it's literally as real as it gets. Okay, so anyways, so this is Hathaway, but he also apparently has cancer now. But John is doing well. Anyways, so I asked him for parts F, G, and H. So if you see the beginning, it only gets to I think he had it. Oh no, it didn't go the whole thing. Okay, it goes. If I go here, he goes through it again. Like if he was the one, if John Hutchison had this guy's engineering background, we would all be flying on like flying UFOs right now. Or he could be like killed a long time ago. So again, I only got to part E, but then he told me that he actually never did parts F, G, and H. He never got hold of that. So he says, I did not complete this video, namely I never completed F, G, or H concentrating. Okay, so anyway, so that'd be good to know. I will just put that in my notes. It was him that touched jellified aluminum and left a finger on it. No, it wasn't him. It was Alex Pizarro who died. So Alex Pizarro is the one who touched it. But it was also his colleague. So his colleague, Alex Pizarro, is the one that touched it. And you'll see he mentions him here, somewhere in here. In the news cycles here. You'll see he mentions Alex Pizarro. And also here, he discusses all of the equipment John used as well. So again, like what I'm trying to say is nothing's hidden. You just go and do it. The hardest part of the Hutchison effect is actually the doing it. Meaning, go get a bunch of these transformers, Tesla coils, Van de Graaff generators, and then go and run it for like 10 hours. All right, try just running that anything for 10 hours is gonna you're gonna have issues with it breaking down and so on, and also like destroying your devices and so on. So you gotta have just the actual doing is the hard part. It's not the actual yes, it's the actual doing. And I'll be getting on it again once I get figured out this Faraday cage stuff. But I'll be doing the Faraday cage stuff after I'm doing that magnetic drop test. Once I get I'm still waiting for the Amazon one. So I'm still waiting for Amazon. I ordered these PVC pipes right here. I ordered these. It's still arriving between June 11th and June 25th because again there is a small chance which that I can if this works, if there's an anti-gravity effect, there's a good chance. I would say good chance that I could prove that that magnets of repulsion are anti-gravity, and then I can demonstrate it anywhere. And anyone and anyhow using the Atwood machine. So I ordered this. I'm just waiting for this thingy here because it is absolutely hard to put these in repulsion. I almost snapped my fingers off. So it is not it's not easy. So yeah, that's what I mean. The actual doing is the hard part. So going back here, this is why like trying to compete with mainstream science, which gets like trillions of dollars in funding, and then where Hutchison effect literally literally runs on just on social assistance that he had for his agoraphobia. So I'll show you who actually touched it. This guy's, yeah. So his colleague, this is the guy that touched the Hutchison samples, Alexis Pizarro.
Vancouver businessman Alexis Pizarro has seen Hutchison's project in action. In 1981, a company he helped form signed a deal with Hutchison. The company would promote Hutchison's discovery and work to develop it further.
I immediately realized that this had tremendous significance. It had significance in space, it had military implications, and its understanding could possibly open up a whole new energy source.
Associate.
Yeah.
Zero. From Vancouver.
Yeah, so he's talking about his associate. So again, Pizarro is the one that actually touched it. You can actually go right here, Pizarro. So if you search up Pizarro, I think Okay, I think I spelled it differently. Thumb. Or finger. Fingerprint. Yeah, HD photos with fingerprint. Alexis Pizarro. Okay, I think I spelled. How did I spell it wrong? Pizarro. Oh my goodness. Okay, Alexis. Fingerprint. Oh, I'll just make it easier to search fingerprint, and then how do you spell his name in here? Yeah, Pizarro. There's 2 R's. Okay, that's why. So Alexis Pizarro. So Alexis Pizarro. He's the one who touched the fingerprint one. That's just right here. So this one here, he touched it while it was still jellified. Absolutely fascinating. So again, the difference between just to give you an example, so the difference between, let's say, Hutchinson effect, which is like absolutely real, the more and more you look at it, the more and more details all line up, which is again absolutely impossible any other way, but it's as real as it gets. So anyways, and compare that with the MH370. The more and more you look at it, the faker the videos get, the faker the teleportation and Ashton Forbes gets, and so on. Apparently, and also, I shared this on X. On the MH370, Ashton Forbes actually apparently got like publicly humiliated at some sort of UFO conference. Nothing happened to his finger. No, his finger's fine. But John doesn't want to. Yeah, John is scared. He's like, oh, he's like, get away from that. So if we go right here, and I think I shared it right here. Yes, this one. Somebody shared it. Where did it go? Okay, I'll go to my likes. How do I like? Okay, check my likes. Oh, also, yeah, we'll play this one too. This is wild. Okay, so this one right here. So this person said, I heard Karen Forbes made a public fool. Yeah, so Ashton Forbes made a public fool of himself at Contact in a Desert, some UFO conference, and ended up slithering away from this guy here, another disinformation, Ross Coulthart, with his tail behind his legs. People were laughing at orbs behind his back, and he spent most of the time wandering around alone, being avoided by everybody. So apparently he was at a UFO conference, made a big scene, started yelling at this guy, and then nobody wanted to talk to Ashton Forbes. Apparently, again, I'm just saying apparently because I don't want to get sued by Mr. Ashton Forbes. This guy, and he said right here, just like I told you in person, you're doing this to yourself. You couldn't tell 2 perfectly in sync military videos were real, and now you're going all in on being wrong. It wouldn't be so embarrassing, but you're also pretending to be a disclosure advocate who talks to people who claim to have psionic powers. Okay, interesting. If you have any more info on this, if there's any footage of Ashton Forbes going nuts, Ashton Forbes contact or desert. Did I spell desert right? Okay, that should be right. Okay, I saw some other people saying that. It was good to meet you in the desert. Now, nice to know there's a softer side of Ashton Forbes. Oh, there's people saying there's a softer side of Ashton Forbes.
Desert, had an awesome time. Or got to have some awesome conversation. Live stream. We're gonna be talking.
Okay, so apparently, some people said they like the momentum. Really questioning Contact Desert. Okay. Anyways, I want to see any more details. But anyways, going further, here's some AI stuff, and we'll go back into the fusion stuff. This is actually all AI.
Angela Carter here live from the Cedar Grove flood disaster. Just kidding, I'm not real. This is Dana Brooks reporting live from Ocean View Beach.
You better believe this is gonna happen, guys. Project Bluebeam, it will not will not just disappear.
Just kidding, I'm not real. This is Charlotte Reed reporting live from Clearwater Beach, where an unidentified... Just kidding, I'm not real. Angela Carter here live
epic stuff, yeah.
live from the Cedar.
So it says grandparents that trust the news are gonna be in trouble. Yeah, that is true. All right. Okay. So that's this part right here, Alexis Pizarro, and so on. And he goes over a lot of the samples he has. So he has infinite samples, and not just from like back then. He still has them, like now, and he discusses all the effects that he witnessed personally, and what happened to the effects and so on. And he has a lot of these samples, and so on. But he also has one like recent we did with Bob Greener. All right. So I synced that footage, and I'll be doing some stuff. Anyways, Google's just hassling me. I'm gonna close some stuff here. Okay, those are closed. Okay, good. Let's go back into the this show right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the fusion one. So this one here, very very epic. So yeah, so basically you contain it with a magnetic field, and then you do the pinch. See what the pinch is, In fusion power research, the Z-pinch, zeta-pinch is a type of plasma confinement system that uses an electric current in the plasma to generate a magnetic field that compresses it. See pinch. So we go to the pinch again. I think we had pinch. There's pinch. A pinch or Binet pinch, magnetic pinch, is a compression of electrically conducting filament by magnetic forces. So you have magnetic forces. Apparently this is also that. Or a device that does such. A conductor is usually a plasma, but could also be a solid, liquid, or metal. Pinches were the first time used in experiments. Pinches occur naturally in electrical discharges like lightning bolts, planetary auroras. Lightning discharges show electromagnetically pinched filament. So the thing is, how is it pinched right here? Okay, this is a study of a section of the crushed lightning rod, first described by J.A. Pollock. They describe, so this is getting crushed there. Described the crushing mechanism as a result of the interaction of the large current flowing in the conductor with its own magnetic field. So it was able to crush that. So again, this is literally Hutchinson effect. Lightning bolt is literally Hutchinson effect, gets that crushed. There, but the question is, how is this crushing? Lightning bolt discharges showing electromagnetically pinched plasma filaments. Okay, so this is a question here. I'm going to ask Grok. We're going to ask Grok right now. How is it pinching it? What's pinching it? Whoops, wrong thingy. I think this is super important, this pinch thingy. Okay, explain how lightning bolts get quote pinched. What does that mean? What is pinching them? Lightning appears constricted or narrow at certain points along its path. Is primarily associated with a pinch effect, a physical phenomenon driven by the interaction of electrical currents and magnetic fields within the lightning plasma. Here's a clear explanation. The pinch occurs when a high electric current flows through a plasma. So ionized gas in a lightning bulb. So you have ionized gas, basically gas turning to ions. The current generates a magnetic field around the lightning channel, and this magnetic field exerts a force that compresses the pinch. So basically, yeah, so it basically ionizes the gas. The accelerating charges generate a magnetic field that gets pinched, reducing the diameter of the lightning bulb at specific channels. Again, it moves around. Okay, so that's what it is. So, and I'll ask YouTube right now. We're gonna do this YouTube pinch lightning bulb. Eric Leonard also mentioned that his funding stopped in 2001. Yeah, definitely. That was very interesting. He mentioned that. So 9/11, 29,000 tons. Okay, this is pinch lightning bulb. How pinch lightning bulb works. Physics. The science of Z pinch. Okay, we're going to see some right here.
The forces of electricity and magnetism are fundamentally linked. Imagine a bolt of lightning striking a lightning rod. The rod acts like a wire, conducting the current in a straight line. Because every electrical current generates a magnetic field forms around the rod. If the lightning rod is hollow and the current is strong enough, the magnetic field will pinch inward. Physicists call this a Z-pinch, and it's the core concept behind Zap Energy's approach to fusion.
Okay, yeah, so that's pretty amazing. It's basically electric current goes through, and again, it creates a void in the ether, and the magnetic field is just the resulting vortex in the ether, just like when you push water through, and it just compresses it. So that's
magnetic
amazing.
Field forms around the. So,
and in my actual opinion of the Hutchinson effect, I think it's just like the ether. You're overloading a bunch of areas with ether, or removing it from ether to become brittle. If you overload it, becomes jelly. Then deload it becomes rigid. So that's, I think, what's happening. Anyways. So that's amazing stuff there. Okay, so that's that part. And now we're going to go back into dense plasma physics. So basically it derives from a Z-pinch concept. Basically electric current go through both, and then uses pinches large electric currents run through a gas. So basically electric current runs through a gas to cause it to ionize into a plasma, then pinch down on itself to increase the density and temperature of the plasma. So you basically pinch it using a magnetic field until it gets super, super hot and tiny. Most devices use 2 concentric cylinders and form the pinch at the end of the cylinder, and contrast that pinch generally uses 1 cylinder. Anyways, I want to go back into, but also if you look up Eric Leonard, what's his name? Yeah, Eric. Yeah, so there's a whole PDF on him. who explained his focus. So experiments and computer simulations to investigate the viability of DPF for fusion are underway at this part right here, Lawrenceville Plasma Physics LPP, under the direction of Eric Lerner, who explained his focus fusion approach in a 2007 Google Tech Talk. On November 14, 2008, Lerner received funding for continued research to test the scientific feasibility of focus fusion. And then October 15, 2009, and so he achieved its first pinch. On January 28, 2011, published initial results, including experimental shots with considerably high fusion yields, higher fuse than historical DPF trends. Okay, so he did a whole bunch of this after he did. So apparently, research was going well. In March 2012, the company announced that it had achieved temperatures of 1.8 billion degrees, beating the old record of 1.1 billion that had survived since 1978. In 2016, the company announced that it had achieved a fusion yield of 2.25 joules. In 2017, the company produced impurities 3x times mass and 10x at ion count. Fusion yield increased by 50%, doubled compared to other plasma focus devices with the same 60 kilojoule energy input. Also, mean ion energy increased to record 240 plus or minus 20 kilovolts for any combined fusion. A deuterium nitrogen mix and corona discharge pre-ionization reduced the fusion yields standard deviation by 4x to 15%. Oh, that's standard. Basically, it's more. Who funded him? Well, the first one was Google, I'm assuming. But we'll see what it says here. It keeps going. In 2019, the team conducted a series of experiments named Focus Fusion 2B, resulting replacing the electrode material tungsten with beryllium. After 44 shots of beryllium, electrode formed a much thinner 10 nanometer oxide layer with correspondingly fewer impurities and less electrode erosion than with tungsten. Electrode fusion yield reached 0.1 joule. Generally yield increasing impurities, decreasing more shots. Okay, anyways, so it seems that it's going well, but I want to check is... Okay, so Eric Lerner, here's this guy. He wrote the book The Big Bang Never Happened, which advocates... Okay, so interesting, he's an anti-Big Bang guy. Plasma cosmology, he's one of those plasma cosmologists. Instead of the Big Bang Theory, he's founder and president of the chief of LPP Fusion. So see who they're funding it by. I'm gonna keep this open. I'm gonna close this stuff, close to the right. So basically, you use magnetic field to pinch it, and so on. And there's his website. Let's check. Decentralized fusion power. Interesting. He's going full decentralized. Yeah, because that's the thing. This is like you can literally make it in a tiny little in your house view. It's like $100,000, but it could be in a small facility. It doesn't need to be a giant stuff here. I'm gonna subscribe. It's a clean hydrogen boron stuff. Impossible Big Bang. So he's anti-Big Bang. He's 1 month ago. All right, so he's anti-Big Bang. We invest in fusion, LP fusion. We'll see what this is. 8 days ago. But again, my guess, he's probably also a gatekeeper as well.
This disruptive
it's like everybody needs to get on cold fusion. But this one is like in between cold fusion and the other fusion, and like the tokamak fusion, whatever. We'll get to that in a bit.
Technology could be game-changing in the fight. This disruptive technology could be game-changing in the fight for decentralized energy. LPP Fusion is developing an off-grid fusion generator that can create cheap, clean, limitless power for everyone. And now you can invest.
For more information, visit wefunder.com/LPPfusion.
Okay. Okay, so it's probably using WeFunder. Let's see how much money they're raising. But think about it this way: he's getting like 8 days ago, 10,000 views. That's decent actually, but 21 likes only. But this was probably an ad. One comment: keep fighting for the dense plasma figures focus to get more attention. So 122,000 for 138 investors. Investment terms: priced round 85.6 pre-money evaluation. If you invest, you're betting LP Fusion will be worth more than 85.7. So yeah, basically when they go public, or they're trying to basically price round, basically value themselves $85 million. So first goal hit. First goal is 122,000. So what's crazy is I saw this video like yesterday and the day before, watching 2 days, and then all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden, they are running they're looking for funding now. It's like they have the funder there now. And what else? More links here. And I'm gonna now. But the thing is, what's interesting is, I'm gonna go ask right here. Okay. Make a table of how much funding DPF or dense plasma focus fusion received vs the conventional nuclear fusion technology such as the tokamak reactors. Okay, so we're asking Grok some advanced, looking for the best side channel and not seeing it anymore on ancient scriptures. They wiped it. It seems not described anymore either. But anyways, that's why I put on Hive blockchain, guys. Like I literally don't know what more to say. So estimated funding, dense plasma physics, up to 2005. They're saying between 100 million to 200 million total private investment, private companies. Yeah, and going back into this one right here, this guy, we'll open it up the Google one here. Here's the Google one. He's also funded by Goldman Sachs and Google, so it's like he's still getting big funding, but private ones, but not getting like the okay. See who is funding them. I think he mentioned how much funding, but again, compared to the mainstream setup there, nonetheless, I definitely have my suspicions that he's a gatekeeper. And the best way to find out is you ask him about the Hutchison effect, tell him, yo, Hutchison effect, cold fusion, and then see what he says. If he says, yeah, they're real, but this one you can actually get funding, that's a decent answer. That's a decent answer in my book. That's like a semi-provable. It's because as long as he doesn't say that they're not real, then you know Lacey has a soul.
If the X-rays.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go Goldman Sachs. Okay, I'm gonna go right here. Transcript. They wanted something hidden. Transcript. Cold fusion would probably eliminate single Big Bang, as James Webb and so on. Yeah. Well, the thing about the Big Bang, it's very similar to like every other mainstream narrative. It's like, oh, somehow these Osama bin Laden wanted to bomb New York City for some strange reason. That's another Big Bang. It's like there's no just 848. Okay, so 848. So here's 3 approaches to PBF. These guys have funded. Actually, no, not even that. These are the other types. So Goldman Sachs 40 million. These are FRCB. The one he was working on is the well his type DPF. He had $500,000 from NASA, and then that's from the government, and then also, no, that was the source, NASA/Jet Propulsion Laboratories, Goldman Sachs, and then those other ones, DARPA, 6 million, 40 million. I think these are the other ones, but he was asking for, I think, for 2 million. Oh, they're saying his son now. Oh, Bin Laden's son is the one who did it. Yeah, 2 million, 6 years. Right wing pushing Bin Laden's son. Yeah. Okay, just play like. Oh, there it is.
Sachs. And then the third at substantial funding, the field reversed configuration collider beam, quite a mouthful. Company is trying.
But anyways, so he was saying that the best one is this one here, of these types. Yet all the money is going to these other ones where he's saying that they're not as good as this one. So it's like what? But again, he's still getting NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Okay, so I'm gonna go. So he's running this, and I'm gonna put this in the chat. This is pretty fascinating stuff. So I'm gonna put this in the links stuff here. Leave a comment. This one here, Propulsion Lab. This one here. Subscribe to his channel. This fusion. I'm gonna go right here. Focus fusion. This one right here. So I'll put this as well. I'm gonna put these in the notes. Okay, we have 47 minutes left, guys. If you have any questions, again, this is where you find me. If you have work and so on, but you need ask me questions, take some time off work to get me in. As again, I have my expertise of being able to ask Grok AI. Some people ask me some expert advice, and then I ask them ask Grok, and then I just show them how to ask Grok AI, and they're like, "Wow, thanks." Yeah, and this other videos. I think I just added that. Okay, so there it is. Yeah, definitely, and there's a website there. Apparently it patents as well. It's like, again, people have to realize, don't get into patents, you're gonna get destroyed. Alright. But he's getting on LP Fusion, get news public. I could actually ask him to get on the show. But again, here at MES, it's like, that's the ultimate way. If you get on the show, you get a huge credibility boost in the conspiracy world. Oh no, in my world. Anyways, so it's pretty epic stuff. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna go to his channel, actually it's right here, and then just illustrate the mechanism he does here. He illustrates how it works. So the input, you basically put 100 gigawatts. So you're putting a whole bunch of energy in, but then once you have the fusion, you're gonna get 11 terawatts. So this is the thing with nuclear fusion, the mainstream fusion setup. You need to put a whole bunch of energy in, but then you get over unity. And that's because you're getting energy from the actual nuclear processes. But that's like huge amounts. So anyways.
The input to this pulse device is quite significant, 100 megawatts per cubic centimeter. But due to the way it become unstable, the plasma focus approach is to sort of go with the flow and use the plasma instabilities to concentrate energy. Well, this is a plasma focus. This is one of the smallest plasma focuses in the world in Santiago. But any plasma focus consists of a central...
But notice how small it is. That's a pen. So imagine you can get actually energy from this in a small setup as opposed to paying millions. Okay, we haven't even got back to this one here, the funding. So dense plasma focus, 100 million to 200 million. And then tokamak reactors, 20 billion to 30 billion. And these ones mainly private companies and limited government funds. But then this one's mainly from the government. Yeah, all the big government spending literally $30 billion. And then if I open up the tokamak, what tokamak is. So a tokamak is a device which uses a powerful magnetic field generated by external magnets. So using external magnets as to confine plasma in the shape of an axially symmetric torus. So basically using a giant torus there. So basically all of it is confining plasma. So you're confining plasma using a magnetic field. So you're doing that. Tokamak is one of several types of magnetic confinement device. Produce controlled thermonuclear fusion power. The tokamak is currently one of the leading candidates for a practical fusion reactor for providing minimally polluting electrical power. Proposal to use controlled thermonuclear fusion for industrial purposes. Anyways. For industrial purposes, in a specific scheme using thermal insulation of high temperature plasma by an electric field was first formulated. Soviet physicist Oleg Lavrentiev in a mid-1950s paper, and so on. So basically, here's the idea: you get a magnetic field, a super strong one, and super big, and then confine the plasma inside here. And then basically, the whole idea of the way you get electricity is, moving charges, that generates I think that generates a magnetic field, but also then the magnetic field generates a current or something like that. I'll ask Grok right now. It's just simplified for us. But anyways, so you have a magnetic field, and you contain a bunch of charged particles in here, and look how big it is. And there's some visible wavelength. Okay, anyways, so you contain it like that. A global particle in cell simulation using this one here. So you basically have the super strong magnetic fields to show core turbulence in a tokamak. Basically, you're containing like the star inside a little container, or inside a big container, but not as big as a star. Okay, so here's a whole bunch of stuff here. So again, billions and billions of dollars here. So resulting helic magnetic field. So it's basically a torus inside a torus. So you got a torus inside a torus. Toroidal fields, and then you're containing the plasma inside. So here, a relatively constant electric current, and again, it's all just ether rotation, and it's getting super high speeds and so on. And again, billions and billions of dollars. It looks like a brain, yeah. Star in a giant jar, and let's see what else. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna ask. Make a table comparing how electricity is generated, both types. Okay, let's see this. And again, I can't underestimate how powerful this AI is, Grok, just for helping. Like making a table, just do that. Even let's say you go do the research and make the table. It takes you like an hour. Whereas this makes a table, you can now double checking takes like a few minutes, so you can double check the actual work and so on. Okay, anyways, plasma uses a pulsed high current discharge. This is dense plasma. Oh, this is okay. This is plasma confinement. So, dense plasma focus uses a pulsed high current current discharge to create a dense hot plasma in a small region plasmoid via the pinch effect, where magnetic fields compress the plasma. So you're compressing it. Whereas tokamak uses strong magnetic fields, toroidal and poloidal, so it's basically a spiral end around, generated by external coils and plasma current to confine and stabilize a hot plasma in a toroidal donut-shaped chamber. So that's how you do that in a hot plasma. This one uses just basically high pulse, high current, and it's using when it's using pulse. Basically, it's like turning on and off, on and off. This one is just on. A fusion reaction typically aims for aneutronic, so no neutrons. Fusion, proton, boron, etc., producing fewer neutrons and more charged particles. So it basically creates charged particles, mainly tiny amounts of fusion. Tiny amounts of neutrons. And it primarily uses deuterium, tritium fusion, primarily produce high energy neutrons, again, and alpha particles. And I'm guessing those would have a lot of nuclear radioactivity risks. And according to the mainstream stuff. Anyways, energy capture mechanism, charged particles from aneutronic fusion are captured directly via electromagnetic fields to generate electric current, direct energy conversion. So it has direct energy conversion because you have the charged particles. So alpha particles are just hydrogen. I think it's just hydrogen. Okay. What are alpha particles? Alpha particles are positively charged particles emitted during certain types of alpha decay. They're key. Consists of 2 protons and 2 neutrons, making identical to a helium of helium. Basically helium 4 atom. So basically helium 4 is the alpha particle. So you get helium as opposed to some of these other high energetic neutrons. Am I the only person who has an issue with the stream? Interesting. Interesting with the stream. Let's check how it is. It was particle. Supposed to. So you get helium as opposed to some of these other high energetic neutrons. Am I the only person who has... No, it seems fine on mine. I can hear my own stream live. Let me know, guys. Let me know if anyone else has issues. You can also try a different stream. You can try Rumble and so on. All the links are in the Telegram one. You could try the... If YouTube's not glitching up, you can go Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, and so on. Okay, he's the one that wrote Big Bang Never Happened, and I do believe... Okay, so a matter or so, Solar got it right. Okay, wow, she knew way ahead. I think it's on your end, Tammy. Okay, so interesting. So it's on Tammy's end. Maybe unplug your internet and plug it back, or just listen to me glitched out. Okay, audio's fine everywhere else. Okay, epic stuff. Yeah, and again, guys, any issues, let me know in the chat. That's why I have the chat here, so I can literally live debug. Okay, so going back into here. So anyways, it's charged particle, helium-4. So going back here, how does it work? So charged particles, this is the fusion reaction, is this, and then this one uses deuterium, tritium. Deuterium is just hydrogen, heavy hydrogen, with extra protons or something. Anyways, and tritium is also, this is also hydrogen as well. Okay, I'm gonna go right here. I like tables, so make a table comparing hydrogen, alpha particles with deuterium, tritium. Okay, let's see what this is. I like tables because it's it just compare everything. That's how I work in my brain. Definition: helium. Helium-4 nucleus, 2 protons, 2 neutrons. That is the that's deuterium. The alpha particles again it's bigger. The other ones are smaller, so again, I would assume that's more energetic. Hydrogen isotope, 1 proton, 1 neutron, deuterium, and then this one hydrogen. So basically hydrogen with more 1 proton. This one's 2. 1 neutron. This is 2 neutrons. Okay, and then the mass of these ones is heavier than these two, and then they have positive charge. These are both neutral. Anyways, going back here, helium is key in something. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's also to speak with a high voice. All right, and I'm gonna continue on this part here, but I also had other questions in my email. A lot of emails I'm gonna go over. Some of them had some pretty interesting stuff here to look at. I think one of them is here. Okay, this guy's bad mouthing John Hudson. Okay, this guy here also had some interesting stuff there. Okay, I'm gonna go right here. Go back into the Grok setup here. Fusion. Okay, so I just want to see how that works. Charged particles from neutronic fusion. Energy capture mechanism. Yeah, so it uses. Oh, okay, so basically this one creates these ones. No neutrons. It creates the alpha particles and more charged particles. Yeah, fewer neutrons, more charged particles. These ones use the hydrogen, basically isotopes. Energy capture mechanism. Charged particles from a neutronic fusion are captured directly via electromagnetic fields to generate electric current. So basically, when you have charged particles, and it's captured via electromagnetic fields, and that generates a current somehow. Some designs propose that heat generation, minimal heat generation, and then as energy primarily in charged particles. So there's no heat. So there's significant heat generated. Because remember, this one, the only heat is only inside the plasma. It's super high in a billion degrees Fahrenheit, but it's at the plasma, not the heat elsewhere. So this one, so then energy mechanism. This one, neutrons from DT fusion carry most of the energy and are absorbed by surrounding blanket lithium. So lithium carries it to produce heat, which drives a steam turbine or heat exchanger or for electricity. So basically, the tokamak isn't direct electricity. It basically uses the energy from the neutrons to heat lithium, which then produces heat. Yeah, so basically it bombards lithium, and then lithium gets hot, and then that boils water, and then it creates a steam turbine, and then the steam turbine, when you just turning a magnet in magnetic you just spin a magnet in a coil and get electricity out of that. But you get a lot of heat generation. And this one, energy is just captured directly from charged particles to electromagnetic fields, and then electricity generation. This one's indirect conversion via thermal cycle. Heat from a blanket drives a steam or gas turbine similar to fission reactions. Efficiency is typically lower, 30 to 40% due to thermodynamic limits. And then direct conversion of a charged particle kinetic energy into electricity using magnetic electrostatic systems, e.g. inverse cyclotron converters, potentially higher energy. So basically, it uses the kinetic energy of the electron, the charged particles, like the alpha particles, just them moving itself creates a current. So that's it. So all you do is having moving. Okay, exit out and restart it. No commercials had that issue, only the live. Interesting. And, that is interesting to hear. All right. Potentially higher efficiency, 70 to 80, avoiding thermal loss. So again, this looks like it's like the in between from cold fusion and hot fusion. And so no grid scale electricity generation yet. Advanced current status, advanced experimental stage is still in the experimental stage. Demo reactors like Demo aim for grid electricity by the 2050s. Private companies like that, and so on. Okay, and so on. Challenges. Energy capture. Okay, so converted directly into electricity. Okay, I'm gonna say convert charged particles to electricity. Let's see how this is. Open a browser. Maybe that's a fix. Yeah, maybe electric. Okay. Okay, so electric charge cross course. What is it? How does it? Okay, focus fusion. It's that same one. Focus fusion, LPP fusion, fusion direct conversion to electricity. See how this works.
Most of the fusion energy, and most of the energy originally fed into the device, is emitted in an ion beam, traveling away from the electrodes. This beam is fed through a type of induction coil. The ion beam generates changing magnetic fields, which in turn generate current in the coil. This pulse of current is fed to capacitors. Some of that energy is recycled to provide energy for the next shock, and the rest is fed out to the grid. An additional part of the fusion energy is emitted as a pulse of X-rays. This is captured in an onion-like photoelectric device. X-rays collide with electrons in thin metal films, causing the electrons to be emitted with high energy. The electrons are captured on charged electrical grids, generating a current that is also fed to the grid.
All right, that's epic. So basically, they have an electron beam. It fires down there, and then it gets picked up, and then that generates a current in the coil just from the electromagnetic mumbo jumbo. And then they also have X-rays that also launch, which has a bunch of these like 1,000 layers of thin metal, and then that bombards using the photoelectric effect and just bombards electrons, which makes them go faster, and that gets also again that's another moving charge near the inductor or conductor. I mean conductor like a copper plate or whatever, and that generates electricity somehow as well. Again using electromagnetic mumbo jumbo. So that's pretty epic, and I'm gonna go continue here, and I'm gonna go over some other questions that I had because I think we've pretty much driven the point home here. It's pretty epic stuff. I grasped it fully. Okay, so now again, it's much smaller than the typical giant ones. Events later YouTube version. Just okay. I'm gonna place
electrode, which is a normally made out of copper, a hollow cylinder surrounded by an insulator, and it's surrounded by an outer electrode, the cathode, which generally consists of a circle of copper rods.
So I think the anode is this one here, where the negative ions like come out of, or this is the cathode where the positive goes. The ions go from inside to outside, and these are the cathode.
Now this device is enclosed in a vacuum chamber which is filled with the fusion fuel in gaseous state, and it's attached to a capacitor bank. And when the switch is thrown, the capacitor bank releases in approximately a microsecond a strong current going from the cathode to the anode, which ionizes the gas, turning it into a plasma.
Yeah, so basically, it goes current from here to there and ionizes all the gas inside the fuel, and then it turns into a bunch of charges. And
so what you see is a current sheath formed, which flows from the cathode to the anode. It interacts with its own magnetic field to force the current sheath rapidly down the barrel of the anode. And this is where you get the first instability. First instability is the formation of these dense plasma filaments. This is because of a thing called the pinch effect. In any plasma, when you have currents going in the same direction, they create magnetic fields that attract each other and sort of twist around each other to produce these dense filaments, sort of little tornadoes.
Okay, so yeah, so these all get ionized, but then these specific areas where the it's like going to the cathode, from anode to cathode, that gets pinched. So again, that's Z pinch. So you have these charged particles all getting pinched inside here.
And they're produced in counter-rotating pairs. And this is a photograph of them looking down the anode.
Yeah, so basically a bunch of lightning bolts.
And you can see their pairs. So already you've concentrated the energy which was spread out into the sheath, into these filaments. Now when the sheath gets to the end of the anode, the attachment point moves to the inside of this hollow anode, and the filaments have to fountain together into this focus area. And at that point, there's another instability. The filaments start to, which are counter-rotating, start to merge and annihilate each other. And you get inductive forces that very rapidly move energy from the outside of this array to this focus region.
Okay, yes. Basically, this filament gets all pinched inside there as well, and basically all this is getting focused inside the center here, somehow. So again, but yeah, the whole thing is filled with gas, and all gets ionized, and then this is where it's like gets like looped around in like a giant squeezed vortex. Also, guys, first comment on Rumble. Okay, bless up Matt in chat saying David's epic stuff. Never forget 9/11 Moonchild. Heard it here first. Let's go. Yeah, and it's full moon today. It's Strawberry Moon. And Saturday is Trump's birthday. You know what that means. It's going to be MES livestream Moonchild. And I'll go back to the moon here. So I'll go back to the moon. So Strawberry Moon, somehow the strawberry is a heart. But also there's a rare moon today. Today's Strawberry Moon reaches its peak and lowest point, a rare celestial event that won't return until 2043. So yeah, the moon is at the peak and lowest. What in the world does that mean? Explain Strawberry Moon. Okay, I think what does this mean exactly? And we'll get back into the Strawberry Moon. But anyways, it's full moon, guys. Never forget Strawberry Moonchild. Moon won't be red. Anyways, what was the reason? It's being the lowest in the sky since 2006, an event that won't happen. Oh yeah, so it's the lowest in the sky. Okay, so it's in the when you look out outside, it's gonna be the lowest at the full moon. typically different there. So here's when the moon is, and it's the lowest and farthest. So it's the lowest part on the sky, and it's the farthest away from there. So when the moon is at its closest point to the Earth, that's the perigee and the apogee. The June full moon will be a micromoon, which means it will appear smaller and dimmer than it usually does. That's because the moon is currently at its farthest point from the Earth. The moon will also appear 14% smaller and 30% dimmer. So it's the farthest point, and it's at the lowest. So it's full moon there. And let's see what this says here.
Thunderstorms in July gives this month's full moon the nickname the Thunder.
Oh, that's full moon name and meanings. Anyways, I'm gonna ask Grok right here, just to simplify this. Open a new chat. Why is this strawberry moon rare? What does this mean? What does reaches its peak and lowest point? Mean. So again, I'll use this to double check. Helium vortex models make it interesting. Okay, anyways, let's power through this. Was interesting. Coincide with perigee. So perigee, the point in which the orbit is closest. The strawberry moon reaches its peak and lowest point. A rare celestial. Oh, okay, peak and lowest point. Okay, so the strawberry moon is considered rare because it occurs when a full moon coincides with perigee and its lowest point in the sky, occurring as striking. So perigee, the point in orbit closest, and is at its lowest point in the sky, creating a striking visual effect. So it's basically low. This specific alignment where it reaches both its peak and lowest altitude happens infrequently due to the complex interplay. The next similar event won't occur. Okay, so it's peak and lowest point. So then it's the other way around. So this is the one we're at. That's the farthest point. Peak and lowest point. So okay, it's true the moon is made of cheese. Now you're talking about strawberry. Yeah, that is true. But again, I thought it was the lowest, was farthest? Oh, lowest peak. Peak. What in the world does peak mean? Anyways, when is full moon? I'm getting confused here. So it's actually this one here. But why is this thing a micro when a moon is at its farthest point from the Earth? Okay, but then what is this part here? But why is it saying it's the other way around? I don't understand what's going on here. I'm like, 1 second. Why? I can't even click it. It'll be an ad. Well, that is an ad. What is this garbage? I can't even click anything before it just jumps to an ad. These. Okay, where's the thingy? Just go. Peak. Nope. Apogee. Perigee. Nope. Strawberry moon. Peak and lowest point. I have absolutely no idea what. Again, this is the kind of thing I have like an obsession about. It's just simple things. I want to get that correct. Okay, so why it's record-breaking, low-lying phenomena we won't see again. Nothing special about a full moon. You might think, but June is said rare. Will be the lowest full moon in the sky for nearly 2 decades. So it's the lowest, so it's super low, and the full moon won't occur there. But then what's the peak? Oh no, the peak is just the full moon. No, is that the full moon? What the hell? But then what's the difference in the perigee thing? Okay, and then... Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, anyways, I think I got it right. Why is strawberry so low? So it's just low. Okay, that's all it is. It's just low. The peak is just when it's a full moon. I think that's... Okay, so moon spots will reach, and then there is no peak right here. Yeah, so peak brightness. Okay, so peak bright. Okay, so anyways, we got that completely off. Oh yeah, so so it's nothing to do with the perigee. It's not a distance from the Earth. Anyways, so broke that. Okay, we got that. Sorry, we have 22 minutes. Let's power through. What else he had in this reaction stuff? I think he had some more stuff here that I wanted to show. So focus fusion.
Until you get to the, and this is a photograph of the focus region. It's really a black and white photograph, just added the color for looks. But again, you can see that now the energy is being focused into an area, a region only millimeters across. Well, all that's left of these filaments is a single dense filament. And then a third instability starts because the filament starts to twist itself up, a little like a telephone cord. That's called a kink instability. And it kinks itself up until it forms this plasmoid.
Okay, so basically it's using that anode and cathode setup to ensure that the gas inside gets ionized, and then basically it turns electricity into this. So basically you're doing the plasma, you're literally containing like a lightning bolt inside and pinching it and vorticing it inside like this.
The plasmoid is sort of a donut-shaped array made up of filaments, which starts to compress itself. And now the energy is in a region only microns or tens of microns across. And this is a photograph in the X-ray, is not very good, of the plasma.
So that's the X-ray. Apparently it's supposed to look like this, but anyways, that's a theory. This is the X-ray, but again, X-rays, you're just looking at it from like a slice. It's hard to tell, but it generally should be right.
This is a photograph in the X-ray, is not very good, of the plasmoid. But you can see its general shape. This is sort of like if you took an X-ray of an iced donut, but the icing was made out of lead. So the plasma is really in the shape of the icing in the donut, not the donut. The final instability is that the plasmoid itself, when it gets dense enough, radiation from the very center of the plasmoid can start to escape. And that causes a sudden fall in the current, causing a sudden fall in the magnetic field. Whenever you get a sudden fall in the magnetic field, you have to generate a huge electrostatic potential. That potential accelerates a beam of electrons out one end and a beam of ions out the other end.
Okay, so basically it compresses and separates electrons and ions. Basically, I would assume positive charge, negative charge. So yeah, positive goes here, negative goes there. And you also get X-rays firing off. But yeah, is it a hole in the ether? Yeah, it's basically like twisting the ether and so on, and then creating a hole. So again, that hole, I think that's actually empty space. So when you actually separate the ether or something like that, that's possibly like that. But anyways, I'm just brainstorming.
And the electrons, as they leave, interact with the electrons in the plasmoid, heat it up. They heat up the ions, and you get fusion reactions.
Okay, so these heat up the ions. Okay, go back here.
Heated up ions out the other end. And the electrons, as they leave, interact with the electrons in the plasmoid, heat it up. They heat up the ions, and you get fusion reactions.
All right, so as these electrons are going away, they interact with the electrons in the plasmoid, and then they heat up. And that's when you get the fusion reaction, when it get too hot, and you get some merging together of atomic particles.
So even though the plasmoid is destroying itself by emitting these beams, in the short time it lives, which is generally nanoseconds to tens of nanoseconds, you have enough time, because of its high density, to produce significant fusion reactions. And here's the whole process: the rundown, the filamentation, and then the production of the plasmoid and the beams that come out of it. So again, what you've had was a whole series of instabilities that lead to the formation of this very dense plasmoid that contains all the magnetic energy you fed into the much larger device.
Okay.
Which didn't give.
And also, it said lack of funding and so on. Uses instabilities and so on. Okay, and here's the quasars.
Physicists were discovering that quasars emitted dense jets of energy, which are always one-sided. This is a picture of a jet from at various wavelengths. Now, it was thought at the time, and still believed, that this was emitted from a black hole. But that couldn't have been the whole story, because you have objects like this. So it's very much like a quasar. The very dense, well-focused beam, but it's not. It's what's called a Herbig-Haro object. And this object here is an ordinary star in the process of formation, a protostar. So there's no black hole involved, and yet it produces the same energetic, focused, one-sided beam. So I asked myself, I was aware of the plasmoid emitting its asymmetric beams, and I said to myself, well, maybe this is an electromagnetic process in which energy is concentrated purely electromagnetically in a process analogous to the plasma focus and emitted in that way. Well, I knew that to test this theory, I had to develop a theoretically based quantitative model of the plasma focus to extrapolate it over a couple of dozen orders of magnitude up to the quasars and the other astrophysical devices. So working with Victoria Nardi, that's what I did from plasma instability theory, which is based on Maxwell's equations. And it turned out pretty well. The predictions corresponded pretty well with the astrophysical observations. So once I had this quantitative theory, the obvious question was to say, well, would the plasma focus burn this ideal fuel, hydrogen boron? Since everybody in the fusion community knew that this was sort of the holy grail. And it turned out the scaling laws were very encouraging.
Yeah.
For example,
anyways, it goes on to some more technical stuff, but you get the general idea. Experimental apparatus. See what this is.
Expensive bank of 40-year-old capacitors we were using.
So basically, and again, this is like it's relatively small. Well, it is pretty small especially compared to the tokamak, and so on. I think he had some other interesting diagrams. This is a cyclotron. What is this here?
It's billions of times the strength of our own Earth. There's a quantum mechanical effect that reduces the rate at which the ions heat the electrons, reducing the electron temperature, and thus reducing the X-ray emission, which goes as the square root of the temperature. And this is how it works.
And then he goes over some other theoretical stuff, saying why temperatures can get too high to cause, I think, a different kind of radiation and so on. But anyways, that's for another day. I was also plays. I think he said something.
First of all, when a charged particle interacts with another charged particle, collides, it can only convey momentum perpendicular to its direction of.
Interesting. So a charged particle hitting something, it can only direct momentum perpendicular.
Motion.
Okay. He doesn't even know why. He's like, oh, so supposedly.
In a plasmoid or anything that's highly magnetized, the direction of motion of the particles is along the magnetic field lines. So you have to convey motion to the electrons by bouncing them off the electric field lines and getting them to spiral around them. Well, if you have a sufficient, third point is that ions can only convey energy to electrons that are moving more slowly than they are. Most electrons are moving much more rapidly because they're much less massive. But there's all
29,000 tons. Duty calls have to go. Great stream is always one of the best. Actually, epic stuff. Epic indeed. All right, have a good one. I'm gonna go over some random questions once I finish this little clip, and so on. I had some pretty interesting ones. Anyways, continue further.
always a minority.
Have a good one. 29,000 tons.
Of slowpoke electrons that the ions can convey energy to. Now, if you have a sufficiently strong magnetic field, the momentum perpendicular to the magnetic field lines is quantized. You have angular momentum of the electrons spinning around, and angular momentum is always quantized. In fact, Planck's constant, which everybody's heard of, is actually measured in units of angular momentum. So you have a situation like this, in which you have the electrons and ions moving along the magnetic field line. And if the ion does not have sufficient speed or momentum in order to knock the electron into the next one of these quantum levels called Landau levels, no energy will be conveyed from the ion to the electron. But for the electrons, the typical electrons that are moving much faster than the ions, they will hardly be affected by this. They'll have plenty of momentum, and therefore their efficiency at heating the ions will not be affected. So that the ions will heat the electrons at much less rate than the electrons will heat the ion. That means that the ions can be at a much higher temperature than the electrons, reducing the X-ray emission.
Okay, anyways, it went over some technical stuff. I'm trying to wrap my head around magnetic field effect. This is very hard to grasp. But basically, he's saying that the ions can be higher temperature than electrons and less radiation and so on. I'm going to go to the magnetic field effect. Magnetic field effect. I'm going to ask Rock, just because I do want to understand it. Whoops. No deep search. Explain the... that causes... Let's see what he said exactly.
Magnetic field
oh, Stephen F. is in the show. Let's go for Superfan.
In which you have the electrons and ions moving along the magnetic field line. And if the ion does not have sufficient speed or momentum in order to knock the electron in a full, no energy will be conveyed from the ion to the electron. But for the electrons, the typical electrons that are moving much faster than the ions, they will hardly be affected by this. They'll have plenty of momentum. And therefore, their efficiency at heating the ions will not be affected. So the ions will heat the electrons at much less rate than the electrons will heat the ion. That means that the ions can be at a much higher temperature than the electrons, reducing the X-ray emission.
Okay, so... explain the... yeah, I just want to get Grok to explain the magnetic field effect that causes the ions to be at a much higher temperature than the electrons, thus reducing the radiation. Ions plasma, such as dense plasma, achieve much higher temperatures than electrons, leading to reduce is closely tied to the magnetic field effects and the dynamics of the pinch effects relevant in DPF using this one. The magnetic field effect pinch interaction of a high electric current with a self-generating magnetic field leading to plasma compression and selective ion heating. Selective ion heating. So basically, if you have high energy, high heat electrons, that is apparently bad. Ion heating, much heavier than electrons. Due to rapid compression of the Z pinch, the magnetic field accelerates the plasma inward, and the ions, due to their higher mass inertia, gain significant kinetic energy. And then electron cooling, being lighter, respond more quickly to magnetic field and electron forces, and they also lose energy more readily during collision. So they lose more energy. Magnetic field confines electrons more tightly due to their smaller mass, leading to a smaller... make a table of this. I'll just make I'll just make a table. Make a table. Okay. I just want to get this, and then we'll get to some other question. We have 10 minutes, 9 minutes now. Because I like tables. Okay, this is, make a table. Just come on. But I do like how there's infinite info you can deduce. Magnetic insulation table. Magnetic field mechanisms strong as missile magnetic. Best magnetic field right here. Impact on DPF creates dense plasmoid preferentially heating ions versus Lorentz force compression. I don't want the tokamaks. And then ion heating process. Electron temperature reduces Brimstone rate, improving radiation efficiency due to scattering cyclone and weak magnetic coupling. So it doesn't couple with it as strong, so it doesn't go as fast as the other ones. And the other ones are heavier, and they're not going to go and radiate as much or something like that. Anyways, I'll have to do that for another day. Maybe get the actual Eric Lerner inside the show. All right, I'm gonna close these stuff. I think I just generally get the idea. But actually, I do want to grasp a bit more. But I had some other questions. One of them is this. I'm gonna go over. We have 7 minutes, guys, before the stream. 7 minutes. I'm gonna go for a run. So Wednesdays I go for a run outside. YouTube. Why does it go there? Okay, so I want to go to youtube.com. So someone had a comment right here. This one, I wanted to see what he was talking about. This guy was, okay, this guy right here. 56 he says, wow, 5617 to 12304 of my live stream 93. Let's play this right here. It's literally impossible on any other blockchain or financial institution. Like, you can't do what I'm just doing here. So I'm doing the Hive thing. You can literally send like literally a few cents in USD with no fees. I see. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go convert it into. Okay, so I'm swapping 20 cents, one Hive for HBD, and I'm gonna go and do this mumbo jumbo. Where's the peak? Okay. Okay, and then he says all the way to 123. Yeah, should dig in on the topic. Yeah, definitely get on the Hive blockchain, guys. Again, I have this right here. So if you guys post on this threadcast, it's on the Hive blockchain. Your comments are there. You can't. There's no complaining about comments being gone because they're right there. Hard. Okay, I think all the way to 123. So I'm gonna go MES1. Is this taken? Review. Oh no, okay, so MES1 is like, so you can't make a 3-letter one anymore, but I have a 3-letter. Good grab time, yes, MES is definitely big time. Yeah, so I have MES, that's pretty good. Okay, anyways, wow, so man, he learned a lot. Mandu, FPS, okay, so let's go. Physical Association, alright, let's go. So we have, some peep on the show. Okay, anyways, next one is, I think there's another comment in my email, this inbox. This is, I'm gonna go right here. Found you on, okay, this was another comment. I'm gonna go open here. Okay. John says he needs my help. Oh no, it's, never mind. That's not John. That's some random other, have you seen the Hive crypto art graphic is getting these? Okay, anyways. So he actually, let's see, art graphicin. How much crypto is he getting? So Alan Force actually, so he actually posts and then he actually just gives me all the money that he makes from Hive blockchain. So he's made a whole bunch, and he's sending me a whole bunch. Stake Power, where's this post that he's getting? Oh, $9. Holy, yeah, he's making a whole bunch. So every single one of these, he's post a cartoon, $9, get half, and he gives it all to me. So no, this guy's a machine. Anyways, what's in store for Saturday's show? Saturday says Moonchild, Trump, Moonchild deep dive. Yeah, so Saturday, it's a Moonchild deep dive. So going back here and Hope Plasma. Okay, it's this one right here. Well, Wednesdays are the ones that can be technical stuff. Saturday's more conspiratorial. I made a good. Also here, guys. This is 3D software here. So if you do this, and here's me in 3D. So there's MES in 3D, guys. Absolutely unreal. So there's me in 3D. Just taking over the game. Just taking over the absolute game, guys. Let's go. All right, so that's MES, and you can go with here, and you can also view it over there. Put the links there. But yeah, so that's me in 3D. So look like a GTA character. Babylon working out. Babylon working out. So there's the this one right here. So there's the count right here. My cousin thought it was me. I'm like, is this my secret burner? 777 to 666. He says June 11th, 6/11 is 333 days after the blank. After the quote fake Trump assassination on July 13th, 2024 at 6:11 p.m. So again, 9/11 backwards. 7/7 is 7 months, 7 days after the November 5th U.S. elections. June 11th is a strawberry full moon. Trump was born on a full blood red moon eclipse. 6/11 is 9/11 again, and he's using exactly my photo that I used in my thumbnail. So it's exactly that photo I used. So a strange coincidence involving Trump's birthday, and I wrote, "Peeps thinking this X account is actually an MES burner." So again, this X account like on another level. What software? I don't know what you mean. Oh, that software is literally the links are there. The links are on there in the 3D, MES 3D. You can click here. The software is ready. I use this the links are all here. 2D, 3D, whatever, and figure that out. Yeah, man. Moonchild time. Okay, St. David's Moonchild time. He said it every single stream. He said never get 9/11 Moonchild, and you heard it here first. And now this guy's on another level, guys. I'll put a link as well here. Okay, so here is 77666 visually. Yeah, it does look like that. Anyways, so again, this guy goes on another level, and he has like infinite connections. Let's see what else he has. In the end times, 777 is the Antichrist. Okay, so he's doing a whole bunch of stuff here. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. Okay, let's go. This guy's, and it's like he's including my stuff. That's my thumbnail. Is it Trump the Moonchild? He literally used my thumbnail. That's literally my thumbnail I made. Trump Moonchild. Like, and he never even gave me credit. It's probably me. So again, I'm not gonna say whether he is or isn't me, but Trump Moonchild. Yeah, so over here, that's my thumbnail. It's Trump the Moonchild. And then let's go back to this one. It's Trump the Moonchild. Let's go. Because I'll be going over this guy's stream. Oh, and I think he has more of my stuff here. And he's using mine too. Donald Trump the Moonchild thread. It's October 15th, 2024, and he did it after I made a video. So I did this in August. And he's including my playlist right here. I mean, my thingy here. Angel White puts the Angel White stuff. Okay, that's Angel White. Okay, epic stuff. And these are literally my screenshots. This is my screenshots I put in my video. So the guy's on another level, guys. So you can see this is my screenshot. See this right here, June 14, 1946. You go to Trump. Strange coincidences. Keep thinking it's Friday. No, so again, Saturday day. Yeah, so that's the thing. If we all survive Friday, well, the thing is that Trump's. There's an interesting one about the Friday where he's Friday the 13th is the movie. Where that Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, but it's actually Saturday, Trump's birthday. Alright, so go back here. So it's literally using my screenshot. There it is. This is my screenshot. I think that's my screenshot. It might be a different one. This one right here, Trump Moonchild 1946. Actually, I used a different. He probably used a different one. I probably did it for something else. But anyways, you get the idea. He's still using my stuff. I don't mind. Epic stuff. Trump Moonchild taking over the game. So let's go. There it is. Is Trump the Moonchild? I'll repost. Okay, epic. This guy's my fave. He's taking over the next level. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna close some more stuff. There's another one. Another cool comment. Where did it go? Oh, it was in an email. Okay, so that person liked my my other one there, but I'm getting infinite emails. Okay, and what did he say? Okay, this, oh, Drew said as well. I'm so sorry I haven't been able to line up variable key, because okay, so anyways, he sent me a bunch of stuff there again. I'll review it, but someone else said some other stuff. Nancy. Okay, this guy here, ADS 1990s crop circle report. So at this guy was saying, I was watching the video and got to this part. I was wondering if I could find any public information on this report. This is...
Investigated a crop circle reported to them by a farmer. A few years later, in the late 1980s, the government organisation ADAS was given some crop circle samples by the CCCS. Aid organisation when the army investigated a crop circle reported to them by a farmer. A few years later, in the late 1980s, the government organisation ADAS was given some crop circle samples by...
Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, I don't know about this report. I wonder if I can find any public information. I'll say, hi... good question. I am not sure. I can try looking. But actually, I'll use a Grok AI to do it, and I'll also ask Grok. I'll do it later. Anyways, I'll do this for another time. Yes. Oh, we're over the thing. It's someone else. I think someone else sent some other messages. Comment right here. Oh, this guy right here. So this guy's sent me a very interesting thingy here. He said about the Ace Baker. So Ace Baker, they faked his death, 9/11 cover up, Hudson effect cover upper. So he wears this photo of him wearing the peace sign, and apparently peace sign was branded on the civil bodies, gypsies and Jews in 1936 in the Civil War. But anyways, apparently it was put on here, and it's like to designate. As far back as 60 AD, the records of ancient Rome show that the Emperor Nero used a symbol as the sign of the broken Jew to designate to an anti-god expression. Interesting. So apparently it's used as a like an inverted cross. The circle cross appears upside down with the horizontal crosshairs broken as a symbol of quote peace. So apparently this is like it has some deep occult inverted cross connections there, and this guy's wearing it, and this guy's the one faked his death and lies about Hutchinson effect and so on. Anyways, that's pretty wild. Anyways, again, I'm getting infinite messages. Half of them are from John Hutchinson. Hopefully John is doing well, but I think he should be fine. He sent me a bunch of messages, so he should be fine. Send me some other stuff. Anyways, guys, that's all for today. I'm closing the stream. Hopefully you guys learned. Can you do gentle deep dives on sovereign citizens getting our inheritance from our birth certificate being sold on stock market so I can convince my girlfriend to rejoin the world? Interesting. Gentle deep dives and getting our inheritance. I don't know what that means. Yeah, no, I've seen that, but it's like, so we just turned sovereign. But I don't understand like what practical thing. I used to think crop circles were hoax until I dug into it. Yeah, no, some of them are real. Some a lot of them are fake. That's the way it works. Can you do a gentle deep dives on a sovereign citizen? Well, again, the sovereign citizen one, it's kind of like we're in a mafia. It's like we're dealing. You could be a sovereign citizen, like to like people you know, but then like trying to use that logic against the government where they literally break their own laws. They kill their own people. Like 9/11 is against every single law that's ever written by every country, yet they still do it. So it's like, hey, a sovereign citizen, you can't kill him. Like, what? Do you not know who you're dealing with? But like else, flat earther, wackadoo. Okay. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The key one is flat earth. Just tell them flat earth is it's round, and once you get to that, and then we can get through anything. Once you realize earth is round, the next part is the moon. we'll be there. Anyways, that's all for you guys. Anyways, thanks for joining. I'm gonna write this. Joining. Have a great day. And yeah, and anyways, on top to hide the real ones, yeah. So that's the thing. You also need hoaxes to. Oh, I put that twice. Okay, I'll delete this one. Remove. All right, so remove. I'll need to do that one. Okay, bless up, John. Okay, bless up, St. David's. Bless up, Matt and others, and bless up, St. David's. Okay, have a good one, guys. See if there's any other comments. No other comments on the other stream links. All right, that's all for today, guys. I'm ending the stream in 3. Yes, I know, but my girlfriend has gone off the deep end. Yeah, just do some MK Ultra on her. MK Ultra. Just invite her for an MK Ultra session. And yeah, just just do this, and then tell him you are not crazy anymore. Yeah, just have a session with her. Another awesome show. Good chats. Need to do plasma modes again. Yeah, definitely. We'll be going over anything that tickles my fancy. I'll be in on it. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining, and have a good one. And ciao. Ending stream, guys. And night. Oh, night of revision. Let's go. Have a good night. And way to go calling out David A. Hughes. And also, last thing, he completely ignored the part where you said the sphere was like completely untouched. And then obviously that means like the other towers are gonna be untouched. But he completely ignored that part because that's like the one where you literally said what. You can't just say those are the buildings were done from falling steel. So again, he clearly knows what he's doing. He's just slithering his way away. I'm looking. Oh, okay. So anyways, Eric Red is going wild. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Ending in stream 3.